We are live. Awesome. Terrific to be back on live. Hello, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. It's a grey and miserable afternoon here in gorgeous London town. I hope that wherever you are having a nicer Sunday afternoon than we are. But whatever the weather, thank you very much for joining us for another selection of scenes. Today we are shaking scenes. And we've got a lovely, so I'm checking my lists, I'm counting it twice. We've got a lovely company. We're doing 6 scenes today. It's all going to be going off. So just to say hello to everybody, and then I will send the lovely actors off to gather themselves and prepare in our virtual tiring house. So we have Ian, who has come back for more again, you crazy man, and Siegffried, eternally wonderful. Are you in Rome today rather than Paris? It looks like Rome. That's always good. Linda, lovely to see you, always a treasure. And Mark, who is again with us from gorgeous Devon. I hope you've got better weather than we have. And Larissa, another Londoner, lovely to see you. And Dewi, who's in the room next door to me, because we're cheating. And Angus, who's another Londoner. And the lovely Ashleigh is back. It's lovely to have Ashleigh back. We haven't seen you for a few weeks. It's always nice when people come back. All right, you lot, it's 6 scenes today, and we've got some quite big ones. So go collect yourselves, and I will summon you back on. All right, everybody. All right. So, let us get ourselves ready. So if you haven't watched us before, I always do this. Hello, my name is Lizzie, and I am the artistic director for Shake-Scene Shakespeare. And what we do is we perform Shakespeare using the original practice of working from cued parts only. We do not rehearse an entire play. We do not rehearse an entire scene. We do, when necessary, rehearse a little physical sequence, or if there is music or song or action or prop passing that's going on, fights, etc. Those are the things that we do rehearse, because basically you have to. And it's not cheating, because my view is basically, if we have to do it, they had to do it. And there is evidence that back in Shakespeare's own time in the London playhouses, that is exactly what they did do. They got together in the morning for about an hour or two, and they'd have done fights, songs, dances, just like we do. So, sorry, I'm being distracted by the chat. What's going on? Off-scene actors doing things. So, before we get into today, I just want to, as usual, plug our little donations bucket, which you will see the link is there on next to our YouTube screen. It's coming up to Christmas, so we're going to be dividing our pot up very soon, because all your lovely donations that we receive every week, thank you very much, they are much appreciated. They go into the pot, and the pot is periodically shared out between such members of the company as are still experiencing significant financial hardship, and a percentage of it will be going, as ever, to our chosen charity of the Stephen Lawrence Foundation. So because there are so many things going on in this world we want to support, we want to be part of. That is one, and this is the best way we can do it at the moment. Soon as we're all out there back in the world again, we want to be doing workshops and running things for all sorts of groups. So if you are a group or a club or a school and you think you'd enjoy a workshop in this version of performing Shakespeare, please let us know. Please let us know. You can email us education@shakesceneshakespeare.co.uk. Thank God, I really hope I got that right. I should get that right. You can tweet us @Shake-Scenery. I definitely got that right. And anyway, or you can leave us a message here on the YouTube feed. But we are wanting to put together things for next year, when, as soon as the world will, as soon as we can get back out there again, we will. So I don't think there's anything else I have to say right now. I'll do a little housekeeping about what's coming up in December. I'll do that at the end. So let's me shut up, and let's get into the first of our 6 scenes. So we are starting out with a bit of Macbeth, because that was the last full play that we did. That was our November play, which was enormously good fun. It's not available currently on our stream, but it'll be back in all in good time. And if you didn't see it, do give it a watch. I'm particularly pleased with how that one came out. So just for funsies, we're going back to Macbeth, and we're going to we're going to experience the scene where Macbeth's life changes, where he gets his first prediction from the wonderful witches that meet him after the battle. So we're going to very early in the story here. And first, we're going to meet the three witches and find out basically what's going on in their lives. So those of you, and almost all of you are in this one. Is everybody ready? Have I got Linda, Ashleigh, Larissa, Mark, Dewi, Fergus, and Ian?
Aye.
Yeah. Sounds like
Aye. Yep.
Okay, good luck, everybody. I will, remember, I will be here in case anything goes wrong, either with your internet or if there is a problem of any other sort. That'll be my job to cover it, because that's what I do. All right, everybody, I'm going to vanish as soon as I go. Bring yourselves in and enjoy. I'll see you on the other side.
Well, hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where thou?
A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and mulched, and mulched, and mulched. Give me, quoth I. Anoint thee, witch, the rump-fed Ronian cries. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master of the tiger. But in a sieve I'll fit a sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do.
I'll give thee a wind.
Not kind.
And I another.
I myself have all the other, and the very ports they blow, all the quarters that they know, the shipman's card. I'll drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live among forbid. Weary 7 nights, 9 times 9, shall he dwindle, pig and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest tossed. Look what I have.
Show me. Show me.
Here I have a pilot's thumb, rocked as homeward he did come.
A drum, Macbeth doth come.
The wayward sisters,
Hand in hand.
Posters of the sea and land.
must go about,
Thrice to thine.
And thrice to mine.
and thrice again, and to make up 9.
Peace. The charm's wound up.
So far and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is to Soris? What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on't. Live you, or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me, by each one at once her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips. You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth that shall be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly you show? My noble partner you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope, that he seems rapt withal. To me you speak not. if you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak to me then, who neither beg nor fear your favours nor your hate.
Hail!
Hail.
Hail!
Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail!
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death I know I am Thane of Cawdor. But how? By Sinel's death I know I'm Thane of Glamis. But how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief. No more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why, upon this blasted heath, you stop our way with such prodigious greeting. Speak, I charge you.
The earth hath bubbles, as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed.
Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too. Also.
To the self-same tune and words. Who's here? Who's here?
He received.
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. And when he reads thy personal venture in the rebel's sight, his wonders and his praises do contend which should be thine or his. Silenced with that, in viewing all the rest of the self-same day, he finds thee in the stout Norwegian ranks, nothing afeard of what thyself didst make strange images of death, as thick as tale can post with post, and everyone did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defence, and powered them down before him.
We are sent before to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee.
And for an earnest of a greater honour, he bade from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition, hail and most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What? Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life, which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he laboured in the country's wrack, I know not, but treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles to betrays in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder is but yet fantastical, shakes so my single state of man, that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
And off he goes. Fabulous start for this afternoon. Thank you, all of you. Now, I must say, one of the great joys of the position that I currently hold in this company, and with all these wonderful actors, is I love casting them, because it is so much fun to sort of go, I want to hear that person say that line, that person, or that person. And then it's so much fun to get to do it over and over again in different scenes, because the version that we had in the full cast, full play, I loved that cast and I loved that scene and I wouldn't change it. I love that cast now, and it was completely different. And that's just the pure joy of continuing to keep acting, I suppose, is what I'm saying right now. So I'm just going to pull up the next book script, because we're going to do, we're sticking slightly with the tragedies for now, although we're not having a totally tragical afternoon, I must say. I thought it was necessary today to pick some good absorbing drama, but also chuck in a few smiles. So we are sticking with Julius Caesar for our next moment. And because again, this is another play we did earlier this year, which is another one that went extremely well. I'm very pleased with that one. Sorry, that's my phone falling over. And we are going to another early moment, another turning point in the story, because we're going to meet up with the noble Brutus and equally noble but extremely determined Cassius. They have been having a private conversation whilst Caesar and the rest of his court, for want of a better word, were watching the races for the Feast of Lupercal, and they heard some noises from the crowd that worried them. But not knowing what happened, they have called on their friend Casca to stay and fill them in on what they've missed. So we're going to have a little chat between Brutus, Cassius, and Casca. I know that there are people changing from character to character. Can I just check if our Brutus, our Cassius, and our Casca, are you ready?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, excellent. Right, then let's go to Rome. Let's face it, much more fun than being where we are. Okay, as soon as I go, the stage is yours. See you on the other side.
You pull me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what he had chanced.
Well, there was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand thus, and then the people fell shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, Mary, it wasn't. And he put it by thrice, every time gentler than other. And at every pudding by, mine honest neighbours shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mock it. I saw mock Antony offer him a crown, yet 'twas not a crown neither. 'Twas one of these coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again. Then he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. And then he offered it the third time. He put it the third time by, and still as he refused it, the rabblement houted and clapped their chopped hands and threw up their sweety nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown, and it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down at it. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh, nor for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you. What, did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace and foamed at mouth and was speechless.
'Tis very like he had the falling sickness.
I don't know
No.
what you mean by that. But I am sure Caesar fell down. If the tag-ragged people did not clap him and hissed him according as he pleased and displeased them, as they used to do the players in the theatre, I am no true man.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Marry, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd was glad he refused the crown, he plucked me up his doublet and offered them his throat to cut. And I had been a man of any occupation if I would not have taken him at a word. I might go to hell among the rogues, and so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said, if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, alas, good soul, and forgave him with all their hearts. But there is no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that, he came thus sad away.
Aye,
Did Cicero say anything?
aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Aye, and I'll tell you that I'll near looked in thy face again. But those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news too. Morellus and Flavius, for pulling scarves of Caesar's images, are put to silence. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casca?
No, I am promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Nay, if I be alive and you mine hold, at your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell both.
And off they all go. Oh, that was a lovely little visit to Rome. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Well, I mean, what could possibly go wrong there? We've got people planning to have a nice dinner together. Nothing could possibly, I have no idea. Anyway, so that's the end of the tragedies for now, although we're going to start with, we're going into 4 scenes now from As You Like It, because I don't know why, it seemed appropriate to go to a summer play and set ourselves firmly in the Forest of Arden. But again, when you're digging out the scenes, it's never that simple, because it is a very important thing about the nature of a story is there can only be a truly comical or happy ending when we have the real possibility of things going really badly wrong. So we're going to start with the opening scene of As You Like It, which, in common with various other Shakespeare comedies, send us a note if you know which ones I'm thinking of, begins with something that really feels like this is going to be a tragedy. This isn't going to be a comedy. This is all going to go horribly wrong. So we are going to the house of Oliver Du Bois, and we're going to meet his youngest brother, actually, Orlando, who is very unhappy with life. And he is going to be explaining to the faithful servant, who I think we've christened Ada Adam for today. He's going to be there. We're going to meet them and we're going to hear about what's been going on in their lives, and they're going to set us up for a certain amount of the story. And then I will appear every now and again to just, we're not doing the whole sort of story of the play in 4 scenes. We're just popping into 4 moments from As You Like It. But we've got to start with a little bit of darkness and danger. So can I just double check? I can see most of the mics are off. Do we have Ada, Orlando, Oliver, Dennis, and Jeanne the wrestler? Are you all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I very much apologize for my terrible accent that I just did. I won't do that again. I will. Right, so I will see you guys on the other side. Take the stage.
As I remember, Ada, it was upon this fashion bequeathed me by our father's will, but poor 1,000 crowns, and as thou sayest, charged my brother on his blessing to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. My brother, Jaques, he keeps at school, and report speaks goldenly of his profit. For my part, he keeps me rustically at home, or, to speak more properly, stays me here at home unkept. For call you that keeping for a gentleman of birth that differs not from the stalling of an ox? His horses are bred better, for besides that they are fair with their feeding, they are taught their manage, and to that end riders dearly hired. But I, his brother, gain nothing under him but growth, for the which his animals on his dunghills are as much bound to him as I. Besides this nothing that he so plentifully gives me, the something that nature gave me, his countenance seems to take from me. He lets me feed with his hinds, bars me the place of a brother, and as much as in him lies, mines my gentility with my education. This is it, Ada, that grieves me, and the spirit of my father, which I think is within me, begins to mutiny against this servitude. I will no longer endure it, though yet I know no wise remedy how to avoid it.
Yonder, my master, your brother.
Go apart, Ada, and thou shalt hear how he will shake me up.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I am not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir, I am helping you to mar that which God made, a poor unworthy brother of yours with idleness.
Marry, sir, be better employed and be naught a while.
Oh, shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What prodigal portion have I spent that I should come to such penury?
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well. Here, in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
Aye. Better than him I am before knows me. I know you are my eldest brother, and in the gentle condition of blood you should so know me. The courtesy of nations allows you my better, in that you are the firstborn. But the same tradition takes not away my blood. Were there 20 brothers betwixt us, I have as much of my father in me as you.
Boy, will that lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. He was my father, and he is thrice a villain that says such a father begot villains. Wert thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from thy throat till this other had pulled out thy tongue for saying so.
Mathis, be patient, for your father's remembrance be at accord.
Let me go, I say.
I will not till I please. You shall hear me. My father charged you in his will to give me good education. You have trained me like a peasant. The spirit of my father grows strong in me, and I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me such exercises as may become a gentleman, or give me the poor allottery my father left me by testament. With that will I go buy my fortunes.
And what wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent? Well, sir, get you in. I will not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will. I pray you, leave me.
I will no further offend you than becomes me for my good.
Get you gone also, you old dog.
Is old dogma of a ward most true? I've lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master, he would not have spoke such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow on me? I will physic your rankness, and yet give no 1,000 crowns neither. Holla, Dennis!
Call your worship.
Was not Jeanne, the Duke's wrestler, here to speak with me?
So please you, she is here at the door and importunes access to you.
Call her in. 'Twill be a good way, and tomorrow the wrestling is.
Good morrow to your worship.
Good Madam Jeanne, what's the new news at the new court?
There's no news at the court, sir, but the old news. That is, the old Duke is banished by her younger brother, the new Duke, and 3 or 4 loving lords have put themselves into voluntary exile with her, whose lands and revenues enrich the new Duke. Therefore, he gives them good leave to wander.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the Duke's daughter, be banished with her mother?
Oh, no, she's at the court, and no less beloved of her uncle than his own daughter, and never 2 ladies loved as they do.
Where will the old Duke live?
They say she is already in the Forest of Arden, and a many merry men with her. And there they live like the old Robin Hood of England.
What, you wrestle tomorrow before the new Duke?
Marry, do I, sir, and I come to acquaint you with the matter. I am given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother, Orlando, hath a disposition to come in disguised against thee to try a fall. Tomorrow, sir, I wrestle for my credit, and he that escapes me without some broken limb shall acquit him well. Your brother is but young and tender, and for your love I would be loth to foil him, as I must for mine own honour, if ye come in.
Oh, Jeanne, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find I will most kindly requite. I'll tell thee, Jeanne, it is the stubbornest young fellow of France, full of ambition, an envious emulator of every man's good parts, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore, use thy discretion. I had as lief thou did break his neck as his finger, and thou wert best look to't. For if thou dost him any slight disgrace, or he does not mightily grace himself upon thee, he will practice against thee by poison, entrap thee by some treacherous device, and never leave thee till he hath ta'en thy life by some indirect means or another. For I assure thee, and almost with tears I speak it, there is not one so young and so villainous this day living.
I am heartily glad I came hither to you. If he come tomorrow, I'll give him his payment. If ever he go alone again, I'll never wrestle for prize more. And so God keep your worship.
Farewell, good Jan. Oh, I hope I shall see an end of him, for my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Oh, yet he's gentle, never schooled, and yet learned, full of noble device, of all sorts, enchantingly beloved, and indeed so much in the heart of the world, and especially of mine own people, who best to know him, that I am altogether misprized. But it shall not be so long. This wrestler shall clear all.
All the temptation to come up and go, boo, hiss, bad guy. Excellent, lovely. I think it was Fergus who suggested that, I was choosing these scenes because we were prepping for sort of Shakespeare panto season. And I said, no, not even slightly. I think, actually, yeah, a bit. We certainly have some devious plotting going on. So, mercifully for Orlando, Oliver, Ada, and everybody else in this play, this is actually going to turn out to be a comedy, and we're going to have happy endings. There are no broken backs or broken bones. Nobody got hurt in the playing of this play, at least not deliberately. But we are going to hop on now into a slightly later scene. We're going to the court of the new Duke. So the new news from the new court that's referred to as the new Duke, Duke Ferdinand, who's recently taken over control from the previous Duke, and he allowed his niece Rosalind to stay because she is such close friends with his own daughter Celia, and so far that's been okay. So let's hope that stays. But we have had the wrestling. Young Orlando has been and wrestled for his honor with Jeanne, and he has defeated her and won great honor in the court, and also won the love of young Rosaline. So we will see how this particular scene goes out. We will be meeting Celia and Rosaline, and a little later the Duke. So can I just double check we've got everybody? We have Celia, we have Rosaline, we have our Duke. Everybody's ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, right. We'll see you on the other side. Enjoy.
Why, cousin, why, Rosaline? Cupid have mercy, not a word.
Oh, not one to throw at a dog.
No, thy words are too precious to be cast away upon curs. Throw some of them at me. Come, lay me with reasons.
Then there were two cousins laid up, when the one should be lamed with reason and the other mad without any.
But is all this for your father?
No, some of it is for my child's father. Oh, how full of briars is the working day world.
They are but birds, cousin, thrown upon thee in a holiday foolery. If we walk not in the trodden path, our very petticoats will catch 'em.
Take them off my coat. These burrs are in my heart.
Hem them away.
I would try if I could cry him and have him.
Come, wrestle with thy affections.
Oh, they take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
Oh, a good wish upon you. You will not try in time to decipher the fall, but turning these jests out of service, let us talk. in good earnest, is it possible on such a sudden you should fall into so strong a liking with old Sir Roland's youngest son?
The Duke my mother loved, her father dearly.
Doth it therefore ensue that you should love his son dearly? By this kind of chase I should hate him, for my father hated his father dearly, yet I hate not Orlando.
No faith, hate him not for my sake.
Why should I not? Doth he not deserve well?
Let me love him for that, and you love him because I do. Oh, look, here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin. Within these 10 days, if that you be found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace, let me know the knowledge of my fault. Bear with me. If with myself I hold intelligence or have acquaintance with mine own desires, if that I do not dream or be not fanatic, as I do not trust I am not, then, dear uncle, never so much as I thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. If their purgation did consist in words, they are as innocent as grace itself. Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter, there's enough.
So was I when your highness took your dukedom. So was I when your highness banished her. Treason is not inherited, my lord, or if we did deserve it from our friends. What's that to me? My mother was no traitor. Then good, my liege. Mistake me not so much to think my poverty is treacherous.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else had she with her mother ranged along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young that time to value her. But now I know her. If she be a traitor, why so am I? We still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, ate together, and wheresoever we went like Juno's swan, still we went coupled and inseparable.
She's too subtle for thee, and her smoothness, her very silence, and her patience speak to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name, and thou wilt show more bright and seem more virtuous when she is gone. Then open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You're a fool. You needs provide yourself if you stay out the time upon mine honour, and in the greatness of my word, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosaline, whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change parents? I will give thee mine. I charge thee, be not thou more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin. Prithee, be cheerful. Knowest thou not the Duke has banished me, his daughter?
That he hath not.
No, hath not. Rosaline lacks then the love which teaches thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No. Let my father seek another heir. Therefore devise with me how we may fly, whether to go and what to bear with us. And do not seek to take your change upon me, to bear your griefs yourself and leave me out. For by this heaven, now at your sorrow's pale, say what thou can, I'll go along with thee.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the Forest of Arden.
Alas, What danger will it be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so fair? Beauty provokes thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire. The like do you, so shall we pass along and never stir assailants.
Ah, were it not better that I did suit me all post like a man, and gallant curtex upon my thigh, a boar spear in my hand, and in my heart lie there what hidden woman fears there will. We'll have a swashing and a marshalling outside, as man and other mannish cowards have, that outface it with their semblance.
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
Oh, I have no worse a name than Jove's own page, and therefore look to call me Ganymede. And what will you be called?
No longer Celia, but Aliana.
But cousin, what if we decide to steal the clownish fool out of your father's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travel?
He'll go along all the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Let's away and get our jewels and our wealth together. Devise the fittest time and safest way to hide us from pursuit that will be made after my flight. Now go in, we content, to liberty and not to banishment.
And off they go, very much to liberty. Well done, guys. Excellent. So much fun. Again, recasting scenes. Very good, Larissa. Loved it. Okay. Okay, so we've got 2 more scenes this afternoon. I'm just pulling up the script because we are now off. We're going deeper into the Greenwood to follow our characters along their journey into the forest and into various other tingles and tangles of love. Right, there we go. That's good. Found it. So we left things in a bit of a tangle. Poor old Orlando's in trouble with Oliver, and Rosaline's been thrown out by her uncle, and Celia's going to go with her, and they all end up in the Forest of Arden. And of course, we have our 2 young ladies in disguise, and so when Orlando meets Rosaline, he doesn't realize that she's Rosaline, with whom he is terribly, terribly in love. He believes that she is a boy, and that's just one of those little challenges in life that turns up occasionally. So we also have in the forest the Duke with a court of gentlemen, including that character so popular from this play. We have the melancholy Jacques, or Jacques, or Jakes, or however you want to say his name. But he's going to turn up, the guy who is, well, he has a quality all his own. So we have lovers, we have melancholy gentlemen. Excuse me. Sorry, that's a dry throat. That's nothing else. And we will so quickly check my list. Have we got our Jacques, our Rosalind? So we have a new Rosalind, but we have the same Celia, and we have a new Orlando. Everybody ready?
Ready.
Ready?
Okay, excellent stuff. All right, take us please to the Forest of Arden, and let's see what happens there. Enjoy.
I prithee, youth, let me better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those that are in extremity of either are abominable fellows and betray themselves to every modern censure worse than drunkards.
Well, 'tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why then, 'tis good to be a post.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musicians, which is fantastical, nor the courtiers, which is proud, nor the soldiers, which is ambitious, nor the lawyers, which is politic, nor the ladies, which is nice, nor the lovers, which is all these. Yeah? but it is a melancholy of mine own.
A traveller! By my faith, you have great reason to be sad. I fear you have sold your own lands to see other men's. Then to have seen much and to have nothing is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
Yes, I have gained my experience.
And your experience makes you sad. I had rather have a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Nay, then, God, by you, and you talk in blunt verse.
Farewell, monsieur traveller. Look, you lisp and wear strange suits, disable all the benefits of your own country, be out of love with your nativity, and almost chide God for making you that countenance you are. Or I will scarce think you have swam in a gundalo. Why, how now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You a lover? And you serve me such another trick, never come in my sight more.
My fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy, come no more in my sight. I had as lief be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail?
Aye, of a snail. For though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head. A better jointure, I think, than you make a woman. I am your Rosalind.
It pleases him to call you so.
Come, woo me. Woo me. For now I am in a holy day humour and like enough to consent. What would you say to me now, and I were your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you were better speak first. And when you were gravelled, for lack of matter, you might take occasion to kiss.
How if the kiss be denied?
Then she puts you to entreaty, and there begins new matter. Am not I your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say you are, because I would be talking of her.
Well, in her person, I say, I will not have you.
Then in mine own person I die.
No, faith, die by proxy. Men have died from time to time, and worms have eaten them, but not for love.
I would not have my right, Rosalind, of this mind, for I protest her frown might kill me.
By this hand, it will not kill a fly. But come, now I will be your Rosalind in a more coming on disposition, and ask me what you will, I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, faith, will I, Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me?
Aye, and 20 such.
What sayst thou?
Are you not good?
I hope so.
Why then, can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you shall be the priest and marry us. Give me your hand, Orlando. What do you say, sister?
Pray thee marry us?
I cannot say the words.
You must begin. Will you, Orlando?
Go to, will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Aye, but when?
Why, now, as fast as she can marry us.
Then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I do take thee, Orlando, for my husband. Now tell me, how long you would have her after you have possessed her.
Forever and a day.
No, say a day without the ever. No, Orlando, men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. I will be more jealous of thee than a cock pigeon over his hen, more clamorous than a parrot against rain, more newfangled than an ape, more giddy in my desires than a monkey.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
Oh, but she is wise.
Or else she could not have the wit to do this. Make the doors upon a woman's wit, and it will out at the casement. Shut that, and it will out at the keyhole. Stop that, 'twill fly with the smoke out at the chimney.
A man that had a wife with such a wit, he might say, or wit, whether wilt, for these 2 hours, Rosalind, I will leave thee.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack these 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock, I will be with thee again.
Aye, go your ways, go your ways. I knew that you would prove. My friends told me as much. And I thought no less. That flattering tongue of yours won me. 'Tis but one cast away, and so come death. 2 o'clock is your hour.
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
By my troth, and by all pretty oaths that are not dangerous, if you break one jot of your promise, or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise, and the most hollow lover, and the most unworthy of her you call Rosalind, that may be chosen out of the gross band of the unfaithful. Therefore beware my censure, and keep your promise.
With no less religion than if thou wert indeed my Rosalind. So adieu.
Adieu.
You have simply misused our sex in your love prate. We must have your doublet and hose plucked over your head and show the world what the bird has done to her own nest.
Oh, Cuz, my pretty little Cuz, that thou didst know how many fathom deep I am in love. But it cannot be sounded. My affection hath an unknown bottom.
Or rather bottomless. Thou'rt as fast as you pour affection in, it runs out.
Oh, that blind rascally boy that abuses everyone's eye because his own are out. Let him be judge. How deep I am in love. I'll tell thee, Aliena, I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow and sigh till he come.
And I'll sleep.
Wonderful, most enjoyable. Thank you. I love that scene. I love it more every single time. This is such a joy to be able to do scenes, just do bits of plays, go to moments and relationships, and just re-experience little bits and pieces. Right. So we're going to leave that particular love story hanging. Don't worry, as you like, it'll be back another time. And that's a little piece of interest. If you happen to hear any purring during the next scene, it's because one of the joys of working from home means that while I'm doing this, I'm also an available lap. So we have our hidden company member who has just decided that it's time for me to do lap duty. So excuse the purring. Okay, so our final one for this afternoon, we are sticking with the Forest of Arden, but we are going to a slightly different relationship. We're going to leave Celia and Rosalind and Orlando to sort themselves out, and we're going to meet Touchstone the Fool, who got mentioned in the previous scene, the fool from the court of the Duke, who has come with the 2 young ladies into their exile in the forest, and he makes himself a friend also among the people of the forest, which is entertaining for dear old Jaques and sundry others as well. So can I just check that we have a Touchstone, an Audrey, a Sir Oliver, and a Jaques?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Already. Right. This is the last one for this afternoon. So we have an enthusiastic audience here on my lap, ready to be entertained. And enjoy, everybody. Let's go once more to the forest. See you on the other side.
Come apace, good Audrey. I will fetch up your goats, Audrey. And how, Audrey, am I the man yet? Doth my simple feature content you?
Your features? Lord warrant us, what features?
I am here with thee and thy goats, as the most capricious poet honest Ovid was among the Goths.
O knowledge, ill inhabited, worse than Jove in a thatched house.
Oh, truly, I would the gods had made thee poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Is it honest in deed and word? Is it a true thing?
No, truly, for the truest poetry is the most feigning, and lovers are given to poetry.
Do you wish then that the gods had made me poetical?
I do truly, for thou swearest to me thou art honest. Now, if thou wert a poet, I might have some hope that thou didst feign.
Would you not have me honest?
Oh, no, truly, but unless thou wert hard favoured. For honesty coupled to beauty is to have honey a sauce to sugar.
A material fool.
Well, I am not fair, and therefore I pray the gods make me honest.
Well, but be it as it may be, I will marry thee. And to that end, I have been with Sir Oliver Martext, the vicar of the next village, who hath promised to meet me in this place of forest and to couple us.
Would fain see this meeting.
Well, the gods give us joy.
Oh, here comes Sir Oliver. Sir Oliver Martext. You're well met. Will you dispatch us here, or shall we go with you to your chapel?
Is there none here to give the woman?
God will not take her on gift of any man.
Truly, she must be given, or the marriage is not lawful.
Proceed, I'll give her.
Good even, good Mr. What-you-call-it. How do you, sir? You're very well met.
Will you be married, Motley?
Ah, as the ox hath his bow, sir, the horse his curb, and the falconer bells, so man hath his desires. As pigeon's bill, so wedlock would be nibbling.
And will you, being a man of your breeding, be married under a bush like a beggar? Get you to church and have a good priest that can tell you what marriage is. This fellow will.
We'll be here at 3 o'clock next week. We'll see you then. The weekend after, Sunday the 13th, we will be back for our last chunk of live scenes before Christmas. So please join us then. I think we might have a few festive little flicks up our sleeve for that one. Then repeating on our feed over Christmas, if you are going to miss us too much, we're going to bring back Midsummer Night's Dream, which I know it's coming out in midwinter, but we're going to reprise our Midsummer Night's Dream, which we did perform on Midsummer's Day. Anyway, it made sense in my head. But what can you say about that after this year? All right, to all of you out there watching us, thank you very much. Please continue to keep yourselves and each other very, very safe. And let's go wonderfully into this next month of whatever lockdown and whatever the tears bring to us all. To those of you watching us around the world, please equally keep yourselves safe. We look forward to seeing you all in person as soon as possible. And have a good week, everyone. We'll see you soon. Farewell. Thank you, Valentina, for, as ever, keeping us on the air. Thank you, Alexandra, for the throttling. That was great fun. Well done, guys. And we will see you all next time. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Take us off the air. Thank you very much. This is when we need the music. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.